Hello, my name is Richard Orton, and I'm here to ask you to help me realize a 25-year-old dream. More importantly, to help me make known an important part of American history, which has largely been ignored. About 25 years ago, I visited a community known as County Line. County Line exists in Nacogdoches County in deep East Texas. It is what some people refer to as a freedom colony. It was founded in the 1870s by newly freed slaves shortly after the emancipation. And it's a place where three brothers, the Upshaw brothers, Gus, Felix, and Jim, moved their families on land that they eventually owned. Other families came, and there were, at the highest point, according to my information, somewhere around 20 to 25 different families living there. When I went there for the first time, I was largely ignorant of such places. I didn't know that shortly after the emancipation there were hundreds, if not thousands, of these places throughout the South. It was a place of relative safety, relative autonomy for black folks who had newly been freed, and I was fascinated by the idea. So when I went out there, I met Monell and Leota Upshaw, who were extremely kind to me. They were, at the time, the head of a large family. They're both deceased now. But I could not stop going out there. As a documentary photographer, it was the most interesting and fascinating place for me. As an amateur historian, it was equally fascinating. To my knowledge, there's only been one book written about these places. They've been largely ignored in our American history, and that's part of the reason I'm asking for your support. I've been taking photographs out there for 25 years now. I've also learned a great deal about the history of it, and a year or so ago I conducted a number of interviews with people who grew up out there, and I am in the process of publishing a book called The Upshaws of County Line, An American Family. The book is a sort of melding of my photographs with the text that I got from these interviews with family members and community members. Now, fortunately, the University of North Texas Press out of Denton, Texas, has agreed to publish this book. But there's one small catch. Because of the additional costs involved in publishing a book of photographs with a higher quality paper, a different printing process that's more expensive, they have asked me to raise an additional $9,000 to enable them to publish the book. So that's why I'm here asking you to help me out on this project. I've already raised some money. I'm only going to set our goal at $8,000. If you agree to assist in this project, there are certain perks involved, which you can read about on the webpage. The main thing is it is important, quite apart from whatever reasons I have for publishing this book, it is important that this information be made known. As I said earlier, there's a sort of blank spot in our history, in our American history, with regard to these kinds of communities. So part of the perks will involve, of course, free copies of the book, signed copies of the book, various photographs, exhibition quality photographs taken from the book, and for a higher contribution, production credit printed in the book. So that's it. I solicit your support and thank you for your attention.